Well, every 10 years, every state is required to draw new district lines, and the New York State Independent Redistricting Committee is creating a draft map based on their recent census data. Yesterday, that committee released their first draft of the new district lines, only this time the commission couldn't come to agreement and released more than one congressional drawing for a Senate and Assembly draft map. Lexi Cutmore with our news partner WNY has insight on what that map could look like by next year.
I would rather we had one and would reflect the consensus that would be necessary for us to put our combined weight behind a single product.
Some redistricting committee members attribute their division to the time constraint created by the COVID-19 pandemic.
We only received the data on August 12th. We barely had a month with this data, and we've done our best efforts at trying to represent communities of interest across the state.
According to the committee, there is a 10% deviation in agreement on where the district line should fall. And Assemblyman Phil Palmisano says the final product should be as close to zero as possible.
It's an independent redistricting commission, but the appointees are political appointees, and that it's going to, I would think, play itself out a little bit in this process, but it shouldn't.
Some maps, like the congressional map, indicate that New York will lose one seat, and the lines need to compensate for that loss.
I think this really plays out specifically when we talk about the congressional district, because of losing a congressional district in the state of New York is not a good thing, and now how those lines are drawn from here is what needs to be determined. And I think that's the case that has continued to be talked about as far as a southern tier-based seat, whether that will happen or whether we'll see more of a Finger Lakes-based seat.
The lines determine who will represent people in villages, towns, and cities throughout the Empire State. Palmisano believes the committee will group people together based on their needs.
We'll see where they go moving forward as far as drawing the maps. These are the first maps. I don't expect these to be the final maps.
Nothing is set in stone. Everything that was released today are drafts, and the public is encouraged to comment and suggest changes to the redistricting committee.